You know, there was a really wasted opportunity with Lapgate.
Yeah.
You know, you see, you're talking about women. You know, like, if Mick Wallace was in here, would you ask him how he felt about what he said about when he called Mary Mitchell O'Connor Miss Piggy?
I think I probably would.
Yes, and Shane Ross, because he was sitting next to him. And now you see Shane Ross and Michael Fitzmaurice setting up what's called a new alliance, and they're going to have their own policies, which in its own way is probably the same as a party. We're going to bring out our manifesto for the next election. I'm sure they will bring out their manifesto. And, you know, they're not calling themselves a party because they don't have to deal with the issue of women, which is 30% of the people that they would have to stand should be women. And from what I see at the moment, it's all men that's in that alliance. So I think it's a pity that, you know, that you know, I think that's unfortunate.
Okay, but you said Lapgate was a missed opportunity.
It was a missed opportunity from that point of view, that, you know, people saw what happened and, you know, saw the controversy that was over it. It was unfortunate that it happened. I said that at the time. I would have preferred if it didn't happen. You asked me, does I think it will define me? No, is the honest answer.
Your political career, I'm talking about,
yes.
In terms of, you know, what you'll be remembered for. Would you like to think that you'll be remembered for?
I'd far
perhaps. Or?
Well, we'll see what happens in the future. I'd far more like to be remembered for promoting entrepreneurship and trying to encourage people to set up their own business, which is my real passion, I think, as everybody knows. And I've done a lot of work on the Jobs Committee in that area, and in particularly promoting mentoring and bringing in a new mentoring service and using technology to try and help that. That's what I'd like to be remembered for, and that's the work that gets me up in the morning early to continue to doing it. What
advice would you give a first-time TD if they're elected, you know, from your experience 4 years ago?
I think I said over the Christmas, chatting to my husband, that I think after this role I could do any job, because it's so varied and so diverse, you know, and you end up in places, you put yourself on the edge on so many cases and on so many different issues. You know, I mean, public speaking was a huge issue for me. I'd never public spoken before in my life, and suddenly you have to go out and you have to stand up with people. People can be quite controversial. People can be, you know, and there's obviously different issues. But you know, it's a hugely outside of it being a huge honour to represent the people, but you just, from a human point of view, you see a whole different, you know, world, maybe that you mightn't have seen in the career I had before this. So, and you know, how you can help to change that, and how given opportunity people can change. So it's been pretty rewarding in that. It's demanding, there's no point in saying otherwise. Every job is demanding, but I think in this one you're in the public eye all the time. So from that point of view, it's a big change. The hours can be long, but that's not an issue from what you know, hours are long for self-employed people a lot of the time, so on. So yeah, I mean, there is, but it's hugely rewarding. So I mean, anybody who is interested in politics, it depends, I suppose, when you come in. I mean, I came in from not being in the council, where most people do go in the council, so they've had a taste of it first. So it was a huge change for me.